Hello, everybody. Hi. Okay, I know. Welcome to the new moon and solar eclipse card pull. And yes, I actually have two things going again, like I did last time. And on Facebook, everybody, I'm sorry that head, my head is barely making it. So I can at least look in the same direction as much as possible. But again, yeah, I know I still haven't gotten any of the stuff that would help it. I did have something I thought was going to work. And, in true fashion here, it didn't work. So we're using yoga blocks again. Shout out to all the yoga block people out there. But anyway, so whew, what a frigging week. Look at that. I didn't even get all my crystals out. Yeah. One of the lovely things about working a good old 9 to 5 is that sometimes things get a little waylaid and I get off track. I think like everyone else. But anywho, okay. Oops. Just trying to, there we go. Just trying to kind of get the sun. I mean, it's a beautiful day up here in Georgia. Just getting up all my crystal buddies here. And just letting you know, this is my master crystal. How lovely is that? It's what I use when I do my crystal healings. And it's with me all the time. Whenever I go anywhere to Etowah Mounds, any of those wonderful places, I have like a small set of crystals that I bring with me for little short trips. And then all my friends who know me, I have basically a suitcase. But we're bringing up all of what I consider my chakra stones, and I always have these with me. So, whew, all right. So I'm sure everyone is feeling all these wonderful energies that are coming through with this eclipse, right? We definitely are feeling, I say this every time, but it's an intense time, period. Cheers to all you Facebook Live people. Cheers to all you YouTube Live peoples and peoples joining on the replay later. So, yeah. One of the things I did want to kind of mention about this new moon, and of course, I always do a shout out to Yasmin Boland. It's the Moonology Diary. It's so great if you're interested in the moon phases and how they really work with our energies daily. I love it. It's very helpful, very helpful. And let me see if I can scoot this down just a little. Oh, no. Oh, you guys, like I really have this thing rigged. So I'm hoping it doesn't fall. That actually is better. So, hey, thanks, angels. Just don't move, blinds. Just stay where you are. Okay. But what I was going to say is I was going to read just a little excerpt about the new moon, because this new moon, what makes it really, really special is we had a new moon in Aries, and now we're having a new moon again in Aries. Okay. So this is what this new moon / solar eclipse is all about. And some things I'm learning in the astrology that I'm studying, and of course the people I listen to, that this is a big solar eclipse because it is with the new moon, and they are basically in the same degrees, in the same area on the astrological chart. Like they're almost lining up. The new moon is a little bit later than when the solar eclipse actually hits. But so this new moon has themes of releasing, letting go, and flushing away anything that no longer serves your highest good. Now, I'm sure you might say, well, you've been saying that every time you come on. Well, yeah, because let me just give you a little tip. With the eclipse, these solar eclipses, and we are in eclipse season. So with the solar and lunar eclipses, and these, especially this year, they're extremely powerful and they last longer, as in the feelings and the things that are going on last much longer than, say, some of the other solar and lunar eclipses that we've had. So it's something to really keep in mind with the things you're thinking, the things you're saying to yourself, the things that you are, what your intentions are. I mean, it comes down to how you talk to yourself daily. This is the time to really set, what are you going to do from here on out with the rest of your life? How are you going to be from here until you transition to the next plane, however that looks for you? How are you going to be? Because this is it. I would recommend, highly recommend, if you have some things that you really want to achieve, some dreams you really want, sit down with, today, tomorrow, into the weekend and journal or write a letter to yourself. What are the things I want to manifest? What are the things I want to create in my life? And that could be, hey, I want to create more compassion, more of an open heart. I want to create acceptance and awareness. These are all things that I'm working on. And it's coming back to me tenfold, even more than that. The lessons to show me how to accept, to show me how to be aware. So this is a huge opportunity for us to really let go of all the conditioning, all the programming, all of the social things that we have been taught to keep us in a box. Okay? I mean, that is really a huge statement. I understand that, but it is true. I cannot stress it enough. And I'll keep stressing it because it isn't like, okay, I wrote down my stuff and check, yeah, that big, whatever came in and I did it differently. So that's cool. It's not going to come back around again. It will come back around again. However, we can learn how to maneuver through that, right? In a different way. I talk about changing our perspectives. When the same old comes in, you're like, why is this coming up again? Because we haven't learned the lesson. We're continuing to learn these lessons. This isn't a one and done. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it is an acceptance about it. And I can absolutely attest to that. And maybe at one point or some point with these YouTubes and these lives, if you guys are interested, I can tell you some of the things I've been learning, some of the stories that I have created, these new things that have happened to me and what I'm learning. That's, again, why I do these lives, because I'm always learning for myself. And I want to share. I want to share so much. And hopefully it can help you guys. All right. So yes, this is going to be a little bit longer live. I think last week was almost 30 minutes, and this week is going to be about the same too. And I'm going to read another excerpt from this book, Raise Your Vibration by Kyle Gray. It is such a great book. I cannot stress it enough. He puts it down in layman's terms as to what the energetic body that we have and the different places in our body, how we hold things in our gut, we hold things in our throat, we hold things up here. So this book is so wonderful in learning about our energetic body systems. And it's very easy to read. I don't read it. I haven't read the whole book. The way he has it is, of course, in different, he has, the vibe of the day. So it's just reading 2 pages a day. And I have a hard time sitting and reading a book, honestly. I joined a book club last year and I did the book club, but it was difficult. So I want to read the vibe of the day, because this really comes and ties into what is going on right now with everything, all these energies that this solar eclipse is bringing in, and that this new moon. I mean, these are 2 major cosmic events. Okay. So this is Vibe 28, and it's called Let Your Light Shine. Within you is an incredible light, one that will never go out. Whenever you face darkness and uncertainty, that light has an opportunity to shine. It represents the greatest aspect of your being, the ancient you, the all knowing you. It is the energetic representation of your soul. Oh my gosh. Oh, I need to, I think, send a text out to all of my family and say, don't text me between 5 and 6 on my card pulls. Okay, so the light of the soul is held within your solar plexus chakra. Now, that is in your gut area, all right? That is basically below your heart space and above, it's in between the navel and below your heart space, okay? In order for it to shine as brightly as it can, you have to dial in and heal the energetic topics covered by that chakra. Although there is a light within you, you know that at some of the most important times in your life, it has remained hidden. The best way to understand this is to liken your light to the sun on a cloudy day. You know the sun is up there and you know that it's shining because that's what it does. But its warmth, brightness, and potency are out of sight. In order for it to be seen in all its glory, the clouds need to part. That's all. All the sun has to do is be itself. The clouds in this metaphor are all of the stories of shame and inadequacy you've encountered along the way. Those stories, those clouds aren't true. And I'm going to say that again. Those stories and those clouds are not true. They are just stories that others have told you about yourself, often because they have been prevented from being themselves. You may have even repeated these stories to yourself. It's time to change that. The way to change is to realize that these stories aren't challenges, but opportunities. It's time to claim back your life and your right to decide for yourself now and forever. He always leaves with a mantra at the end, okay? I reclaim my right to decide. It is safe for me to make my own decisions and live my own life. I choose to remove the clouds that hide my inner light. I release the false narratives of shame and embarrassment. My will is strong and focused. My light is shining like the sun. And I'm going to repeat this again because the more that I do these things for myself in my healing journey, I have to repeat it a couple of times because we are deprogramming all the stuff we've been told and reprogramming the brain. So having to say it over and over and over again. And if I could say this 108 times for you, I would, but I'm trying to keep it brief so we can get this out under 30 minutes. I claim my right to decide. It is safe for me to make my own decisions and live my own life. I choose to remove the clouds that hide my inner light. I release the false narratives of shame and embarrassment. My will is strong and focused. My light is shining like the sun. Telling you, words are very powerful, my friends. And the more that we speak positively to ourselves, your life changes for the better like that. I am not lying about that. And all of my friends who are here, the ones who are on live, my Facebook Live, thank you for joining. I love having all of you beautiful souls with me today, and the ones on my YouTube live right now, thank you. And then, of course, watching the replays, thank you. It doesn't matter when you watch this, it still holds the same energy. So we're going to get into this new moon intention activation spread for this new moon in Aries with the solar eclipse, with a side of solar eclipse, okay? A little side of solar eclipse. And it ain't a side, it's like a buffet, people, all right? So I'm using the new moon intention spread, activation spread. It's 6 cards, and I'm using my very first Oracle card deck that I ever bought because it's very to the point. So it's the Soul's Journey deck by James Van Praagh. And I'm telling you, it's one word. It's going to basically seal in or bring in and remind us of these things that we need to continue to look at within ourselves, as us, like within our own self and within us as a community, as a world community, because we are all one. It doesn't matter how separated we are from houses and different continents and different states. We all are a little piece of the big picture. We really are. Okay. So I did my saging, and I actually did some drumming and chanting. Shout out to, I think, one of my beautiful sisters from my Acorn Drum Circle is here. So wonderful to have you here with me. I was gonna do it live, do the drumming live, and I thought, well, I think I'm just gonna actually share that with my ladies in the Acorn Drumming Circle, record it and put it in there. But anyway, all right. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to close my eyes as I usually do, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Okay, here we go. So in through the nose. And feel free to sigh. You can breathe out the nose. You can exhale out the nose or the mouth. Just kind of shake off the day, shake off all the to-dos. Last one here. Okay. All right. Now I'm feeling some awesome energy because I have all you guys with me. I have all my goddesses with me. I've got my gods with me. I've got my guides with me. So I know they're with you too. Okay. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, for revealing to us what we need to know at this most powerful time in our lifetime with this new moon in Aries and this solar eclipse coming. Thank you so much for revealing to us what we need to know. We are willing to listen. Okay, so let's pick on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just 6. All right. And if I remember, I always forget to look at the bottom of the deck and record that. But I will do my best to remember it. Actually, I'm going to just turn it over so I'll know. All right, so here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, this is fantastic here, people. All right, so we ready? So the first card is the quality of intention. What is the quality of intention that I need to know? What is the quality? And it is a big one. This is one that we all have a hard time with. It's forgiveness. It is forgiveness. And it says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And this is us as a society. We hold so much resentment and so much judgment that we cannot forgive ourselves and forgive others. And that, to me, speaks of how Jesus was. All right. And I know some of you guys may not resonate with him. I absolutely do. He was a messenger sent here to remind us and show us this is what forgiveness looks like. This is what forgiveness is. Forgiving the people that brought him to where he was in those stories. He forgave everyone. And there's a lot going out there right now, some just awful things going out there. But we have to forgive everybody in those incidents. We have to forgive everyone. And that is, I know that's coming up as the main card here, as what our quality of intention is to forgive ourselves and to forgive others in everything. That opens us up. It does. Okay, the second card. How do I co-create from my most empowered self? And it is courage. It is courage. And this card says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And that's another big one. These are really wonderful reminders of fear and how much this society utilizes fear to keep us locked in. Anytime we want to go out and do something, that fear draws us back in and says, no, 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 you don't want to do that. That's a big thing that our ego does because it wants to keep us safe. It wants to keep us okay. All right. It's having the courage to think and step outside the box. And there's some people on this live, on my Facebook Live, that I know have had the courage to do that, to do things for themselves, to not listen what others are telling them, and to do things for themselves. So the third card is, what action do I need to take to ignite my magic? And it is purpose. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. This is a time for us to look at what things do we want in our lives, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. What do you want from here until you transition? What do you want? What is your purpose? It's a strong one there. So the fourth card is, what do I need to do to co-create my highest good? And it's denial. And you're like, wait, I'm supposed to like co-create denial? I'm supposed to deny? No, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. And that's the thing that we were talking about earlier, right? These things of having acceptance and awareness. When we forgive, when we let go of the fear, when we stop denying the things that we need to do for ourselves, the more that we deny that, the more that we stay in a comfortable fear-based feeling, our journey gets tougher and tougher. And I have just experienced a lot of that recently. And I have said, nope, I'm not letting fear do it again. I'm not going to deny myself what my soul wants me to do. And that is ultimately loving ourselves 110%. All right, the fifth card is, what is the potential outcome of my intention? And this is so wonderful. It is imagination. Imagination is really what our soul loves for us to use. It says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Our minds are beautiful things if we utilize them for good, positive things that help us to be creative and nourish ourselves. And that doesn't necessarily mean painting, drawing, writing, but it can. Absolutely. I mean, these paintings back here are from my love that he utilized in the beginning of his journey with the art to help him, right? To have that imagination open up his mind and know that he is worthy of being a creator. And creating our lives, that takes imagination, creating what we want in our lives. I am so glad this card came up because we really, really need, and I do too, need to keep creating my life how I want it to be and visualizing that, even if it hasn't happened yet, visualizing things already done. So the sixth card is, how, if at all, do I course correct to be in better alignment with my intention for the highest good? How do I course correct? And this is another one here. Blame. Blame. It says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. And this ties in so wonderfully with all of the other cards. You know, when we are faced with a serious challenge, we immediately have been programmed to look outside of ourselves. Oh, well, I can't do that because XYZ. Or I can't do that because so-and-so said that I'm not worthy, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough. So I can't do these things. I can't take care of myself because I have all of these health issues. And I don't mean to be insensitive. I understand people have health issues, but you can learn to work with those things. I have some things that have come up, nothing major, like some of my friends who are dealing with some serious health issues right now. But instead of blaming everyone else, and as I used to blame all the food companies that and the all the pharmaceuticals that used to make me sick and cause me to have these issues now. I can't blame them. I have to take that responsibility back and say, hey, I just let myself be led around when I know I need to eat better. I know I need to rest. I know I need to drink water. I know I need to move my body. And those look different for everyone. We are not all the same. We're not all the same cookie cutters, right? So what I eat and drink for myself may not work for you. You find your own way to stay healthy, to take care of yourself. So going through the cards again, because it's very important. What is our intention? To forgive ourselves, to forgive others. How do I co-create for my most highest self? Having the courage and the bravery to not let fear stop you from your dreams. What action do I need to take to ignite my magic? Figure out what your purpose is. That doesn't mean you have to figure it out right now, but start thinking about it. These things take time. The universe doesn't really have a time. We put time constraints on ourselves. It could be something that could happen next month, next year, friggin' 10 years from now. But don't forget what your purpose is. If you're just trying to figure that out, it's such a wonderful thing. And then what do I need to co-create for my highest good? I need to acknowledge my fear and to place it with insight and awareness. I need to stop denying things, denying myself. And then what is the potential outcome? Don't forget to use that imagination. That imagination is here for us. We are in control of our minds, no one else. We can tell ourselves positive things and know that we are worthy through and through. And then, how, if at all, do I course correct? Accept responsibility for your actions. Accept responsibility. That's a hard pill to swallow. So pretty powerful. So I'm not going to forget. So the overall feel, the bottom of the deck is freedom. It's freedom. How beautiful is that? I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. How wonderful does that all tie together, everybody? We practice and do these things every day, whatever that looks like for you. Going outside, talking and sharing things with a friend when you're feeling overwhelmed, reaching out to a loved one that you can be honest and truthful with. And the more that we do all these things, the more freer we become. And this really is a card pull for the planet. If we practice all these things, forgiveness, courage, letting the fear go and stop denying things, accepting responsibility, using our imagination, we can free our minds and free our hearts, right? So I did it. I made it under 30 minutes. Whee! So I will be back, of course, because that new moon's going to start waxing and we're going to be going through this eclipse season. So stay with me, and thank you so much for being with me, listening to me. Feel free to share this, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like. I'm starting to do more daily card pulls and sharing my journey. And eventually, I'll be sharing my Qigong journey too. And I'm so excited. I'm right in the middle of my studies, getting ready to do some immersion with the people I'm studying with in May. So stay tuned, everybody, because I'm working on my purpose. I'm working on my purpose and I'm using my imagination. It may not look super pretty, but who cares, right? So thank you guys so much for always being here with me. And I hope that this has encouraged you to keep moving forward. And don't ever hesitate to reach out and leave a comment and let me know what you thought. All right? Okay. I'm always sending so much love to you and always peace, love, and soul.